Well, hi guys, welcome to this video. We're going to keep on the theme of Motown guitar. This song, or this album should I say, came in an era kind of coming out of Motown into the 70s sort of soul era. The track itself is What's Going On by Marvyn Gaye, and of course from the album of the same name. There was a version of this song by Donny Hathaway, who released it on his live album, I think 1972. That had Cornell Dupree playing guitar on that track, and that's going to be probably for another video because that's got a whole bunch of different set of chord changes and a very different approach to the song, which is definitely worthwhile looking into. So we're going to definitely cover that in another video. But in this video, we're going to be covering the studio track of What's Going On, Marvyn Gaye, from the album of the same title. I believe it was recorded between 1970 and 1971 between studios in Los Angeles and Detroit, using the studio guys, what they became known as the Funk Brothers, I guess. And I think he did bring in some other players. James Jamison notably was brought in by Marvyn Gaye because he loved the way he played, and he sounded great on this album. So voted by Rolling Stone as #1 album of all time out of all their 500 albums or whatever list they had, voted #1. So the album comes with huge accolades, and rightfully so in my opinion. Great album. It's they call it a concept album. If you listen to it, the songs go from one song to the other pretty much without a break. So it just sort of flows from one to the other. The song in question today, What's Going On, is very much a departure from the Motown stuff coming before it. It's got kind of like a dreamy kind of a sound to it in my estimations. It's not as syncopated and as what's the word, as the system that they had in terms of the way they produced songs at the time. Marvyn Gaye took a completely different approach to this album and this song. This is very much like almost like a dream sequence. The album and the guitar itself, the guitar parts sort of mirror that sensibility. So without further ado, let's head straight into the song. It's in the key of E, and it's got this G sharp minor shape, I'll call it. Okay, at the beginning of the song, the chord is actually an E major 7 chord, but I'm not hearing that lower E. I'm hearing the bass playing the E, but the chord is that. That's the shape that I can hear on the beginning. There's an alto sax playing the intro. So it's a straight up sort of G sharp minor chord. I think we've spoken about it before, but it's 4th fret, 1st string, 4th, 2nd, 4th, 3rd string, and 6th fret on the 4th string. Right, so you've got that, and the rhythm is very interesting in that it's kind of like so you got that E on the bottom, right? So it goes it's got that, and in doing that rhythm, try to accent the 1 if you can, because you want to set up a pulse for yourself when you're playing this kind of rhythm. So try to accent that 1 if you can, like all right, that kind of a rhythm. From there it changes. So we're going to call this chord an E major 7. I guess it's an inversion of it. So it's an E major 7, and then from the second chord it goes to a C sharp minor chord, and it's a very small movement of changing. So you're going from that chord there to that there. So you can hear this. It's a different chord, but it's a very small change in the way that we're approaching it. So it's from that. So they're the 2 chords at the beginning. So you're going to go that's kind of the beginning of the song. And then the third chord, it comes into an F sharp minor 7, which is that. And I'm pretty sure from what I can hear, these are kind of very close to the actual voicings that are being recorded. It's not, they're not playing chords, you know, higher up on the neck where you can hear, you know, higher notes and higher voicings. To me, to my ears, it's very much kind of in that middle to lower register of the guitar. And in turn, that gives the song quite a bit of body, I guess, from the guitar perspective. And it's a nice area to play in this, you know, the song in this context. So the chord is an F sharp minor 7, and it's 5th fret 1st string, 5th fret 2nd string, 6th fret 3rd, and 4th fret 4th string, okay? So it's that F sharp minor 7 chord. From there, he goes to a B sus chord. It's a B suspended 4 chord, or a B7, should I say, suspended 4 chord, which is that. And then he resolves it to a B7. So that B7 sus 4 is going to be, again, just 4 strings we're using. We don't need to use any of the lower strings here. That's covered by other instruments on the song. And you're probably going to have, if you're playing it with a band, you're going to have, you know, other instruments covering the lower register. So you don't really need to worry too much about that. So the chord is, the B7 sus 4 is played 2nd fret 1st string, 5th fret on the 2nd string, that's your suspended note, that's the E. And then you've got the A, which is on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and you have the F sharp, which is on the 4th fret of the 4th string. So it gives you that kind of sound. It's kind of, it introduces some tension, which is what these chords are supposed to do. And then from there, it resolves back down to the B7, to that. Okay, so that B7 is it's just kind of like the previous chord, except we're dropping our pinky down to the 4th fret of the 2nd string. So in total, it becomes 2nd fret 1st string. It becomes 4th fret of the 2nd string on the D sharp. It becomes, there's an A there, which is the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and the F sharp, which is the 4th fret of the 4th string. So, verse section is going to be mother, mother, says the C sharp, E major 7, with the E on the bass, is long C sharp. You know we've got to find a way. There's the F sharp minor 7 to bring some love in. There's the sus. B7, back to the F sharp minor. Don't punish me with brutality. There's a 2-5, F sharp minor 7, B7. What's going on? What's going on? C sharp, E. I wanna know what's going on. Then it changes there. Okay, so you can consider this section, I guess, like I would call it like the bridge of the song. It's an instrumental breakdown, which again was really, really unique. So many really great, creative, unique sounds on this track and the whole album, in fact. But this is definitely one of them. It just out of nowhere, he hits an A minor 9 chord. All right. So really cool transition into this section. So the A minor 9 chord is going to be, it's like an A minor 7, just with those with a 4 frets. So if you consider an A, all we're going to do is we're going to play an A minor 7. So you're going 5th fret 1st string, 5th fret 2nd, 5th fret 3rd, and the 5th fret of the 4th string. That's the A minor 7 voicing that we're using, but he adds the 9th. So the 9th is going to be the B there, okay, that 1st string. So that chord, now the A minor 9 sounds like that. It becomes 7th fret 1st string, 5th fret 2nd, 5th fret 3rd, 5th fret 4th string, okay? So you've got that, and then there's a part, I'm not sure what instrument is playing it, but there's a line that goes, okay, there's a part that does that. The guitar can actually double most of that. It's going to be almost impossible to reach that E from the chord itself, but what you can do is you can do a part like, again. Then he comes back. Okay, so that part there is sort of the line, the top line over the chord sort of ascends, and then it descends the same sort of way. So you're going. I'll do that again. That's what you could play on the guitar there. It's pretty close to what he does. Then the second time round, he descends that line, he'll go. So again, that's going to be, you're descending from the D note, which is the 10th fret of the first string, down to the 8th fret, which is the C on the first string still, and then back to the B, which is the 9th, right? So that whole part is going to be, and all the while we're kind of keeping that rhythm going. So it's a keeping that rhythm going all the way through, remembering to accent the 1 there, okay? And then he just goes into a verse and a chorus again in the song, and it kind of sort of fades out to the end. So the chords in total are going to be that E major 7 off the 4 strings, the C minor chord, and remember to keep that change kind of smooth, right, between the 2 chords. Keep that smooth. All right, so you've got that change, and then he goes to the, I guess you would consider this the 2 chord of the song, being in E. This is the F sharp minor 7 to the 5. Okay, so the 5 becomes the sus4. That's that B7 sus4 we spoke about before, to the B. So that's considered a 2-5 change, particularly sort of in jazz circles. That you would call it that. And then you've got the that bridge instrumental section of the song, which is the A minor 9. That section, okay? And for the most part, that's pretty much most of the song. So they're the parts for the song. And again, as we said earlier, try to keep it, I mean, I'm gonna say try to keep it flowing with that rhythm that we spoke about. But when you listen to the recording, it's my knowledge that, from what I can hear, that the guitar almost sort of drops in and out, whether that's intentional from when it was recorded that way, or whether, you know, sometimes in post-production or in editing, the engineers fade instruments in and out. So you don't always hear the guitar in the original sort of album track, but it's there. It's most of those parts are there. And if you're going to play it live, you know, you can either drop out if you want to, if you have that, if you've got the freedom to do that, or if you're playing, they're the parts that I would definitely play through that song to give it its authenticity, how, as close to that original recording as can be. It's got a really laid back feel on this track. If you listen to the album, from what I understand, there was, substances going around in the studio at the time, and just to, and just to create that inevitably it just became a real laid back kind of a groove on the session. You can hear that in the recording. So fantastic. So I hope that helps you guys with the song. If there's any comments you'd like to make, feel free to comment below, and hit that subscribe button and like the videos if you can as well. I am going to bring out a video, as I said earlier, on the same track, but the Donny Hathaway version with Cornell Dupree playing guitar on that, and the fantastic sort of approach that he takes to this song, which you could definitely go between the two. If you want to be really creative when you're playing this song live, you can go between the two, because there's both approaches are fantastic, and it's a style that really you don't hear a lot much anymore. When you hear sort of funky playing and soul, it's a very much a set standard way of approaching that kind of genre. But this was really unique, and those open chords and that strumming, that rhythmic strumming is fantastic. I know Prince used it in some of his stuff. He sort of brought it back, but it's something to think about when you're playing this genre. To play that sort of open strumming, or even parts of the song, you can definitely approach it like that, just to give it some change and variation, and sort of change it up a little bit, I guess. Okay, guys, so I hope you enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you on the next track. So have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.